So in the video today, I want to introduce you to style sheets in Adobe InDesign. Style sheets are important because they allow us to repeat text characteristics like font size, leading, color, space after. And so as we have a multiple page document, we can make sure all of our headlines are the same and all of our subheads are the same and all the captions are the same and any bulleted text is the same. You can have a ton of different style sheets. And there's two different types of style sheets. There are paragraph style sheets and there are character style sheets. And so we're gonna discuss both of those types, and then we're also going to play around with nested style sheets. So let's start off by opening our InDesign file. And you can see I just have some text that's unformatted. So the first thing I'd like to do is select just that first line of type with my type tool. And I'm going to change the font. Doesn't matter what font you choose. I just want you to change to something. In this case, I think I'd rather it be a serif font. So I'm going to do Warnock Pro, regular. All right, and then I'm probably going to bump up the point size just a tad bit. And just so it'll make it easier to see, I'm going to change the color to a darker blue. Okay. So to create a paragraph style sheet, the easiest way is to do just like I did. You start off with formatting the text that you want to start with, and then you go to the paragraph style sheet palette. If you don't see it here, it's going to be under Window, Styles, Paragraph Styles. It's also Command F11 if you want the keyboard shortcut. So we'll open our paragraph styles, and right now you'll notice all I have is basic paragraph, and it's got a plus by it. The plus means I have changed it from what it should be. So if I select this type, well, that doesn't work. So if I select this type and click on this clear overrides button, that right there is what my actual default font is. It's Times Regular 12 on 16 black. But now that I've made some changes to it, it's got a plus by it. So to create a new paragraph style, I have a couple of options. I can just go to this pull down menu and say New Paragraph Style, which would work. And then I would have to double click that new style and make my changes, rename it, that kind of stuff. Or a shorter way is just to hold down the Option key and click on this button down here, which is the Create New Paragraph Style. It does create it, but it will open up this window, and I'm just going to call this Basic Line Text. And notice it says it's Warnock Pro, it's size 13, the leading 16, and the color is a CMYK breakdown of the blue. And then we'll say Apply Style to the selection, and that's going to apply it to this line of type that I had selected. Okay, so now when I select it, it says it's basic line text. But when I select these, it still says it's basic paragraph. So all I have to do is select these, click on basic line text, and they're all going to be the same. Now the nice thing about style sheets, let's say the client comes back and they say, oh, I don't like the blue. Instead of clicking here and rechanging the color, what you can do is just double click on your style sheet, go to color, and let's change it to red. And so it'll change it throughout. In this case, it would be easy just to change the color, but imagine you have a 48-page magazine or a 120-page book, and you need all the subheads now to be a different font. Well, if you've assigned paragraph style sheets to your document, you can easily make these changes. All right, next I want to make step 1 and the colon stand out. So, first I want to do a tab. I want to make sure this stuff is tabbed over. Well, no, I said I'm going to do it down here. Sorry. we're going to format this. I want it to be, one of the design principles is contrast. So I want this to be a sans serif. So I'm going to do Proxima Nova, extra bold. Actually, I'll do extra bold. I'm going to make it blue. And I'm going to make it all caps. So this then, unlike a paragraph style sheet will, everything within that paragraph will be formatted the same until I do a return. What I want to do with this is I want to create a character style sheet. And a character style sheet is only what you have selected or only certain parts of a paragraph. So you're limited on what you can do. Like with a character style sheet, you cannot do space after or indents or anything like that because it has nothing to do with the paragraph. It only has to do with characters. So you can do color and font, size, scale, stuff like that. So I'm going to create a character style sheet by going to my character style sheet palette. And again, if you don't see it, it's under styles, character styles. I happen to have it right here. And I already had an old one there, so I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to hold down the Option key, click here, and I'm just going to call it New Step. Apply Style to Selection. And then I'm going to throw this one away. So select that, click on New Step. Now I could just go through and say, okay, select this, New Step. Select this, New Step. That's fine. I only have 8 steps, so that's not going to be that big of a deal. But there's another way you can do it. Also, let me show you. Like, let's say I have a character style called italic. You could just select certain words and click on italic, and just those words will be done in italic. Obviously, I didn't do it in this style. And the nice thing about this is, again, if you want to change that, you, like, let's say I don't want the color, I want the color to be green. You just change the character style, and it'll change it throughout. Okay? So I'm going to go back. I want this to go away. So I'm going to say no character style. I want all of this to go away. My character style is still there. I just don't have anything selected with it right now. So there's nothing selected for a character style. Everything is going to be just this basic line text. I'm going to click on the clear overrides. There's nothing but just my basic line text. And I want to make this black. Okay. So now I want to add, I'm going to skip and do step 6 first. I need to add a tab to this because I want to say step 1 colon tab. And so I want all these to line up down through here. So to add a tab, just go to your paragraph style sheet, go to the tabs feature, and notice as I click here and drag, you're going to see where it aligns here. And I just want to make sure that the line is going to be somewhere past the longest one. You know, there might be a time where I have step 99, so I need to make sure I have a little bit extra. I go up here and I click and drag and see how that line is appearing over on the left. Let's stop it about right there and say okay. So now I have a tab, so if I go up here, I can just hit tab. Another quicker way to do it, again, let's say we have 99 tabs, 99 steps. I would just say Command F, which is find. I'm going to look for a colon space, and I'm going to replace it with a colon tab. And I'm going to say change all. Said there was 8 of them. There were 8 of them. So you can use your find replace to not only change words, but to add tabs. You can add soft returns. You can adjust quotes. You can do all kinds of stuff with your find and change feature. All right, so we've added the tab feature. Now I need to want to go back and do the add a nested feature to your paragraph style. So what I'm trying to do here is I'd like to make this paragraph style called basic line text include the bold all cap text for step 1 automatically. So I don't have to go in and select it, go to character style sheet and click on new step. I wanted to do it automatically, and that's called a nested style. So if I go into my paragraph style called basic line text and open it up, again, this is where you can change point size, fonts, leading, indents, all that good stuff. But there's one called drop caps and nested styles. And right now there are no nested styles. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to say new. And so what's going to happen here is I'm going to nest the character style that I created for step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm going to nest it into this paragraph style. So when it says nested styles, what am I wanting to use? I'm wanting to use new step. That's the character style that I set up that's going to be Proxima Nova bold, all caps, and I think we did red. I don't remember what color we ended up with. And then it's going to say through one word. Well, let's just do that and see what happens. Oh, it was green. Okay. So what it did was one word has that character style change to it. Well, obviously I don't need a word. I need it to say step 8 : So let's go back to the nested style. And instead of through one word, I'm going to change this to one tab. Because remember, after the colon, there's a tab. And then that fixed it. Wasn't that much easier? Let's say I have 99, it's done automatically. Now, if let's say, okay, it's step 2, step 1, that's all a little too big. I wish it was a little bit smaller. Well, you go to your character style, you double click on new step, and you can adjust it. You can say, okay, instead of being, it was 13, I'm going to make it 10. And you notice it doesn't even have a size applied to it. And sometimes that's a good thing. So if I were to go to my paragraph style, and right now my paragraph style is 13, if I change it to 12, it also changes the character style, because in the character style I did not give it a size. So it's going to use whatever size is part of this paragraph style. But I can go into the character style and add a size. Let's say I want to make it 10. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Make it 10, and only the character style changes. So then if I go to the paragraph style and I go up or down on size, notice how step 1, step 2, step 3, that doesn't change at all, because the character style actually has a size associated with it, and that's what's going to stick. It will not change. So typically it's a good idea in a situation like this to make sure your character style does not have any kind of size set to it. All I'm dealing with is the fact that it's going to be Proxima Nova, it's going to be extra bold, it's going to be all caps, and I've got a color attached to it. That's the only thing that the character style is going to do. Okay, so this is how you can use paragraph styles, this is how you can use character styles, and this is how you can use nested styles. You nest a style within the paragraph style. The nested style stuff you might not ever use. It's kind of advanced, but you can see there are times where if you understand that concept, it takes a little bit of practice, but you can save yourself a lot of time. And I just want to re-emphasize the key to using paragraph styles is you use them. If there's anything that I would say you use more than once, so if you have a header that you use more than once, make a paragraph style for it. If you have a subhead that you use more than once, make a paragraph style. Captions, bullets, quotations, anything that you use more than once, create a paragraph style. And it takes just a little bit of time to set it up, but it saves you so much time in the long run. Especially, let's say you've done a magazine or a brochure for your company, and you set it up with paragraph style sheets, and it's like an 8-page brochure. You could take that same file next year, and the next time you reprint it, and just go into your paragraph styles and change the fonts, and maybe change the colors of your subheads, and it'll kind of give it a new look without doing a lot of work. And then obviously change some photos around or whatever. But because you can easily change the fonts and easily change the colors because you're using paragraph styles, it will make everything so much easier. So this is the intro to style sheets. I hope you enjoyed it.